Produced by the Cape Cod Museum of Natural History.
Hi, I'm Bob Dwyer, president of the Cape Cod Museum of Natural History, located on the historic 6A in Brewster, Massachusetts. The museum is affectionately known as the Nature Place. We have approximately 55,000 visitors per year, 1,600 members, and educate about 1,600 students per year as well. We refer to the museum as Cape Cod's Nature Place, with the mission to inspire appreciation, understanding, and stewardship of our natural environment and wildlife through discovery and learning. We promote the concept of citizen scientist, curious or concerned people helping to advance scientific research on topics they care about. We have three strands of an organizational identity: a museum of natural history, a nature education center, and stewards of conservation land with geological, cultural, and ancient history significance. The museum was founded in 1954, and from its beginnings as a roadside attraction housed in a tent on 2 acres of land, it is now a 17,000 square foot building with 80 acres of land and shares responsibility for another 300 acres with the town of Brewster and the Brewster Conservation Trust. The museum offers collection-based exhibits, including whale bones, preserved birds, and live marine science exhibits, and provides environmental educational programs and nature tours for adults and children. Our grounds are populated with trails and a number of gardens. One of the first exhibits visitors see in the main corridor is the Cape Take Shape. Cape Cod's geological blueprint is ever-changing, and this exhibit showcases the dramatic coastal erosion on Cape Cod, looking back as far as 10,000 years when the glacier sheets began to melt across North America. The shape of Cape Cod is the direct result of the various movements of the ice sheet, as well as the constant land erosion happening today. The museum addresses not only the past, but the damage of recent storms and how they affect changes to the Cape's landscape after severe storm conditions. The Cape Cod Peninsula is a dynamic and fragile area that is constantly being reshaped by water and wind. Living by the sea has very real consequences as a result of these changes. Ironically, the same destructive forces that violently move the sand from one area to another also work to create the beautiful beaches that draw vacationers to Cape Cod from across the world. Supporting the story of how the land constantly changed is the people of the land, the Wampanoag. Developed in collaboration with members of the tribe and Plymouth Plantation, it shows how the people that inhabited this area lived. The theme comes from a statement made by a member of the tribe, Nana Peshamet, who described the Wampanoag philosophy. "We have lived with this land for thousands of generations, fishing in the waters, planting and harvesting crops, hunting the four-legged and winged beings, and giving respect and thanks for each and everything taken for our use. We were originally taught to use many resources, remembering to use them with care, respect, and with a mind towards preserving some for the 7 generations of unborn, and not to waste anything." In the book, Secrets in the Sand, The Archaeology of Cape Cod, authors Dr. Fred Dunford and Greg O'Brien, former museum staff and board members respectively, wrote, "When the Pilgrims first stepped upon the shores of Cape Cod Bay in the cold, forbidding November of 1620, they found not a new world, but an old one, an ancient landscape that bore the traces of 10,000 years of human endeavor. Fields, gardens, villages, and well-worn paths had been etched into a mosaic of environments that in 1620 defined Cape Cod." Native people established settlements in the Stony Brook area 9,000 years ago. The first group of English settlers arrived in the middle of the 17th century. During the 19th century, the Stony Brook area was transformed from a farming community into a water-powered industrial hub of leather tanneries and cotton weaving mills. Numerous wind-powered salt works dotted the area around Wing Island. To further understand the archaeological significance of this special place called Cape Cod, the museum has sponsored the creation of the Cape Cod chapter of the Massachusetts Archaeological Society. The chapter meets at the museum. But there is much more for visitors to see while here. Like Cape Cod, our aquarium is ever-changing with a theme of one Cape, many waters. The aquarium has an incredible diversity of both freshwater and saltwater habitats for visitors to experience. Our goal is to help visitors discover the exciting nature and science in nearby ponds, streams, creeks, marshes, beaches, tide pools, and Cape Cod Bay, and to explain how we developed. Special marine exhibits, such as the Gulf Stream Orphan Program, done in collaboration with the Maria Mitchell Science Center on Nantucket, explain how a community of scientists, fishermen, divers, and research institutions study the seasonal occurrence of expatriated tropical fish that come to the east coast of North America. The project helps us better understand our coastal ecosystems and potential changes in the species along the east coast of North America. We have Head Start programs for different species, with the most popular being the diamondback terrapin, red-bellied cooters, and horseshoe crabs. We nurture them until they reach a size that will allow them to survive in the wild. Another fun and highly educational exhibit we have is the Butterfly House, a seasonal exhibit that allows a close and personal view of monarchs, painted ladies, and other butterflies native to Cape Cod. There is also a special feeding opportunity using a small sponge brush covered with juice that amazes participants. Adjacent to the butterflies, we have a honeybee observation hive, one of nature's most interesting creatures that is so vital to our food source. Our Junior Naturalist program runs a Mothapalooza event describing the life cycle, from eggs to caterpillar to moth, of the Cecropia moth, the largest moth in North America. There is a native plant pollinator path leading to the Butterfly House and Observation Hive that attracts over 30 varieties of pollinators, including bumble, honey, and sweat bees, longhorned and soldier beetles, hoverflies, swallow-tailed butterflies, and hummingbirds. Recently, the museum populated our main walkway with beach plum plants, a very hardy, flowering, and fruiting shrub that is native to Cape Cod. As the beach plum plants mature and bear fruit, the crop will be brought to the Greenbrier Nature Center and Jam Kitchen in Sandwich to produce jelly to sell in our shops. All proceeds from the sales will go to supporting nature-based educational programs. Bees, butterflies, birds, and other pollinators, so vital to agriculture, need to be protected to ensure a healthy world. While Rachel Carson's Silent Spring warned of the threats to pollinating insects from the indiscriminate application of pesticides and herbicides, there may be other factors that need to be studied and understood to ensure their and our survival. When looked at as a whole, visitors begin to understand the importance of pollinators in sustaining life. The museum has a variety of other offerings that appeal to young and old. Our Kids Summer Day program attracts approximately 400 students during the summer season. They start the day before the museum opens to the public and have total inside access, including the interactive science labs. Outside, the trails and Butterfly House are always the foundation of the day, and the age-appropriate nature topics include marine biology, our ecosystem, ornithology, physics, and chemistry. We have the Eldridge Arnold Wing that commemorates the renowned bird carver. Mr. Arnold was a man of many talents. He started his award-winning graphic design company, was an avid outdoorsman and fisherman, and is best known for his work as a world-class bird carver. A number of his carvings, along with examples of his subject sketches and the resulting carving process, are on display in an area that houses his actual Hyannisport workshop. Science Rocks is our interactive science lab that has an augmented reality sandbox, seed helicopter wind trials, a scientist station, a live frog cycle, tinker table, butterfly, bug, and moth investigations, and many more hands-on activities. For art lovers, we have our Naturescape Gallery, featuring rotating exhibits highlighting Cape Cod artists using a variety of different mediums. For those that want to learn more about the habitat, the Marsh View Room has a tremendous view down to Cape Cod Bay that looks over at Wing Island, named after colonial settler John Wing. The island's adjacent salt marsh provided a rich environment for both Native Americans and European settlers. The bay waters were teeming with fish, and the woods were filled with plants and animals. After 1700, salt hay was farmed, and in the 1800s, salt was produced there. Looking out of the windows to the right, We erected a pole to encourage ospreys to nest. We mounted a camera on the nest to capture the family life of our resident birds from March through September. The images are also streamed on our website. And for those really interested in birding, there is an extensive preserved bird collection featuring mounted specimens indigenous to Cape Cod or visit here as part of their migratory flight path. All in all, the museum is a storyteller. Visitors are entertained while learning, with the hope that they apply some of what they learn back home in their own neighborhoods. We invite you to come and experience the museum for yourself, and we look forward to seeing you.